Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. Good morning to you, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day today. I'm just going to be waiting for a few people to join in. Happy Valentine's Day. We are here again. We are here again. Welcome to Read With Me series episode. Read With Me series episode, week 7, episode 23. Yes. I missed about 1 day or 2 days last week or something. And then if you're just joining us, I am Abiola, and we're doing this series, The Joy of Marriage, God's Way. And in this love season, you see, we want to get the right knowledge in order for us to be able to love diligently. Yes, loving diligently. Not just loving on the surface, but loving diligently with the right knowledge that we need to love God kind of way, you see. And so we need to continue to persevere and consistently fill our minds with the right tools in order for us to be able to carry it out and love diligently. Yes. So welcome. We thank God for a new start of the week. We thank God for a new day. And I just want to say something for in this love season, whatever your reality is, whatever your reality is in this love season or whatever, if you feel like you're unloved, you feel like you're rejected, you feel like the love in your life or the people in your life have not translated that kind of love that you're seeking for, guess what? Whatever your relationship status, good morning. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up. So whatever your situation, yes, good morning, happy Valentine's Day. Whatever your situation is, whatever your relationship status is, you are loved by God. Yes. We want to loud it. Thank you. We are loved by God. You're loved by God. You're loved by God. Whether you're single, you're married, you're still searching, or the relationship status is complicated. Separated or divorced, whatever your relationship status is, guess what? You are loved. You are loved. You are loved. You can say it wherever you are. You are loved. Put it in the chat session. Put it in the comment section. Remind yourself that you are so loved. Guess what? This God that we are serving has given us the kind of love that you can get from nobody else. Exactly. Comforted. Yeah. Receive that comfort. Yes, receive that comfort. No matter what your relationship status is, you are so loved by God. And guess what? This kind of love that I'm talking about, it's not the kind of love that, you just buy today, I went to do some grocery shopping earlier in the morning, and you can see the flowers, the roses and everything in the stores. I saw a lot of guys, buying flowers, obviously buying flowers for their significant other and all that, I just, observing what is going on, in the shop, in the store, and so, for some people that don't have, somebody to give you flowers or whatever, guess what? This kind of love that we're even talking about is more than flowers, more than roses. This person actually died. Now, tell me, how many of the Valentine people, all the Valentine people, when they say, yes, today na Valentine, I can die for you, is a lie. But this kind of love we're talking about is the one that can actually die. It's not that he can actually die. He actually died. He died. He died for you and I because he loved us so much. That's the kind of love we're talking about. That's the kind of love that is worth celebrating. That's the kind of love that, yes, we can connect to. That's the kind of love that, we want to have in our everyday life, in order for us to be able to show that kind of love to somebody else. So, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. And if you're watching this also, please put it in the comment section. And so, because of our time also, I'll be going on to talk about, we have a new chapter, a new topic. And today we'll be talking about talk, touch, and tenderness in marriage. Talk, touch, and tenderness in marriage. If you can, please type it. You can type it in and I'll pin the comment. Talk, touch, and tenderness in marriage is what we're talking about today, because we've missed some episodes before, so we're continuing on the series, the joy of marriage God's way. So I'll just read on. If you have any comments, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the Q&A session, and then we can just read it out loud. All right. So Proverbs 12 verse 4 says, the New King James Version says, talk and tenderness in marriage. Yes. Let me see. I'm going to pin this comments. Okay. So that's what we're talking about today. Talk, touch, and tenderness in marriage. Thank you so much. So, an excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who causes shame is like rottenness in his bones. Boom! An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who causes shame is like rottenness in his bones. Proverbs 12 verse 4. I'll read on. In the beginning, God created the world, and it took great joy in his creation. Then it decided to create man and woman. It decided to create you and I, man and woman. Well, they can catch the replay. No, we have a comment here from my Sukri. He said, please, we need people to hear this. Well, we are just recording this, so we can always use the content, to broadcast it everywhere else, even while it's done. So, So he says that what? In the beginning, God created the world, and it took great joy in his creation. God created the world, and it was so joyful that, yes, what I created is a masterpiece. And if you look at the world, look at the animals, look at the sky, all the things that God has created. Welcome, CEO Mikazi. Welcome, happy Valentine's Day. You look at all the things that God has created, and it was like, whoa, this is so beautiful. This is awesome. I have joy in my creation. You see, and then what? Now said, let me take it up a notch. He said it decided to create man and woman. Man and woman. So God created man in his own image. He said, no, I'm not going to create these ones like the bird or like the lion or like this, but I'm going to, create them in my own image. God is a master planner. Happy Valentine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. He said, in the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. Yes, Genesis 1 verse 24 and 27. Then later, we read more details about why and how God created woman. And it says, it is not good for the man, to be alone. It is not good for the man to be alone. A lot of people will be looking at this in the relationship today now, it's Valentine now. People will be feeling like, I don't have Valentine. What's going on? Well, come on. See, you are loved regardless of your relationship status. You are so loved, and you're loved by God. Yes, the ultimate kind of love giver. All right. So he says, I will make him a helper suitable for him. Genesis 2 verse 18. Thus, God made woman to have a relationship with man, to become one, to be his helper. God created woman for man to be his helper. So since the beginning of time, when God declared all that he made good, he established marriage to be the ultimate relationship between two people, which is the male and the female. I need to clarify that. Even so, we don't have to look too far to see that what God once declared as good has deteriorated, which is so true. We don't have to look too far. Look at our generation today. Look at our families today. Look at what is going on in our society today. We don't have to look too far to see that relationship is suffering. Marriages are suffering. Relationships are suffering. Like, today, we're talking about relationship. So many, this relationship something today, is a trigger for a whole lot of people. a trigger to remind them of the past hurt or past pain or whatever. So we can see that the intention of God, that he created this thing to be good. We can see that a lot of things has deteriorated, in our society and our generation today. So it says that good things are just not happening in many marital relationships. So true. So true. Good things are not just happening in many marital relationships. Most women wish they had a closer relationship with their husband. So true. So true, because we are emotional beings. We are not wired like the way men are wired. So you will find out that most times the male gender don't really understand the women, or we're not wired. They're not wired the way we are wired, you see. And sometimes they kind of lack in providing that kind of care or the love that she needs, you see. So and it says they yearn to be understood, to share their feelings, to be appreciated, and to feel close to someone emotionally. See, okay. So there's great story that I love to tell that illustrates this, and the author reads on. It says, there was once a husband who felt his wife didn't understand everything he had to deal with in his job. So he prayed and asked God to change their roles as husband and wife. Well, sure enough, God heard his prayer, and the next morning he woke up as his wife, and she had turned into him, which is the husband. Then he kissed her goodbye, and she went off to his job, and he eagerly began his day as the wife. He cooked breakfast for the kids and assembled their backpacks complete with sack lunches. He loaded them into the minivan, picked up the carpool kids, and took them all to school. Then he ran a number of errands. He stopped by the cleaners and the bank, then the power and telephone companies. Following that, he shopped for groceries, took them home, unloaded them all, and put them away. Next, he separated the laundry into whites and colors and began several loads of wash. Now, this is the reality of family life. These are the things that we do everyday basis. After that, he made the beds, vacuumed, dusted and swept and mopped the floors. Before he knew it, it was time to pick the kids up from school. He drove downtown, loaded the kids into the car, and settled arguments on the way home. Oh my God, this is my reality. Back at the house, he prepared them a snack, then sat them down to do their homework while he began dinner. You see, in the meantime, his wife returned home from his job, sat down in his favorite overstuffed chair and read the sports pages. Just sit down like this. Be reading the newspaper. In our college, we read the newspaper. Sit down, cross leg. Be reading newspaper. He sat down. I'm the same here. Yeah, you can see. Same here. Yes, I have seen that movie. What movie is that? So maybe movie. Okay. The movie of this kind of scenario whereby they change wife. It's like they swap. The wife will become the husband will become the wife. Yeah. Very, very interesting reality. So he said that in the meantime, his wife returned home from his job, sat down in his favorite overstuffed chair, and read the sports page. So when dinner was ready, the family sat down and had a lovely meal together. The husband cleaned up the dishes, orchestrated showers, and put the kids to bed. By this time, he was exhausted. And even though he had not completed all of the things that his wife typically completed in a day, he was ready to go to sleep. So he crawled into bed, thankful. Let me go to the next one. He crawled into bed, thankful to be getting some rest. But in the midst of this dramatic change that he had prayed for, his wife received all the testosterone that he once had. So he did not really go to sleep as soon as he had wanted. So we know that what that means. The next morning, when he woke up, he fell to his knees and asked God to switch him and his wife back to their original roles. Well, God said in response to his request, I would be glad to do that. And if you can wait 9 months, if you can wait 9 months, I will. But the thing is, you became pregnant last night. Oh my God. So he's stuck in that body. Just imagine. He became pregnant the night before. You see, while women might laugh at the exaggeration of this story, you see, if we are honest, would have to admit that we've secretly harbored that fantasy ourselves. It's not just the duties or struggles we wish our mates would understand, okay? But we wish he would know our feelings, have some insights into what makes us tick, and realize how much we long for a deeper level of intimacy with him. So, yeah, I am supposed to say. So you see, women across America would love to have a better marriage, a better relationship with their spouse. Please put it in the comment section. Why do you think this is so? Like, even I want to hear both parties. We have a male in this live broadcast and a female in this live broadcast. Why do you feel that, in most times the percentages of the women are the ones seeking a deeper relationship? They want a deeper relationship with their significant or their husbands, and they want a better, more intimate relationship. While men sometimes might be a bit surface, and some of the reasons might even be because most times, a lot of men are not really in tune with their emotions anyway. They're not really in tune with their emotions, and they're not really, emotionally prepared, to be so vulnerable or to let people into their hearts or their soul. So it's more like, guarded. And even having sexual relationship or whatever can be very physical for a male person. They can have sex with anybody, and they can have sex with somebody and not really be attached to the person. So I want to hear your thoughts on, why do you think that, this is the narrative for a lot of women, So I would like to, so when I see it, I'll read it. So here it now says that, yet 2/3 of all divorces in the US are filed by women. Wow. A recent Time magazine article pointed out that more women are making decisions to leave their marriages because they are becoming increasingly lonely and unfulfilled. Increasingly lonely and unfulfilled, and they looking at it like, yeah, what's going on? Why do I have to continue in this? See, there's no point. Increasingly lonely and unfulfilled. Furthermore, these women believe that marriage is not going to give them what they need, so they are either ending the relationship or looking elsewhere to get their needs met. Regardless of statistics or your situation, it is possible to experience greater fulfillment in your marriage, in your relationship. So you don't have to settle for mediocrity or second best. You can begin right now to change your perspective and experience the kind of relationship God intended you and your husband to have. Steps to greater intimacy. Welcome. Steps to greater intimacy. Steps to greater intimacy. The typical married woman falls into one of 3 categories. Now, this today, now you see, for people that are single that are watching this, it's like an expose. You're looking at the realities of people in marriage, and these are things that is in our faces, is our reality. You see, and then I want you to think about it, like, how do you want to change the narrative, or what are you actively working towards, like, your relationship in the future to be like that? You don't want to fall into the bad categories. It's not only just saying I don't want to fall into the bad categories, but what can I do? How can I arm myself with information? How can I work on some things that I need to work on so that this will not be my reality? You see, and that is why I'm even doing this broadcast in the first place. So it says that the typical married woman falls into 3 categories. Number 1. Whoa, you can't hear me. Please, can you hear me? If you can hear me, can you give me a thumbs up, please? Can anybody hear me in the broadcast? We can. Okay. So China Abuoma. Okay, you can hear me. China Abuoma, maybe you should log off and come back again and see if okay, you can hear now. Okay, good. Oh, I was scared a bit. I was like, oh my god. The audio. Okay, so you can hear me. That's good. Okay. So number 1, you are fairly pleased with your marriage relationship. That means the category of the married woman. The first category is that they are fairly pleased with the marriage relationship, but you have a sense that maybe it could be better. So you would like to see you and your husband communicate better and also handle conflict in more constructive ways. That is number 1 category. Okay, they are fairly pleased with the marriage and they feel that it can be better with more communication, and conflict resolution skills. It can be better. Okay, so now let me read some comments because I have some comments here. CEO Mikazi said, honestly, we can cross all the T's and dots and still get it wrong. So true. This is so true. So true. So I think it's just prayers we need. Trust God and don't have too much expectations in your partner and always be intentional. So true. To be honest with you, it is so true. I feel like, when we do all of these things, or we seek knowledge or we look for stuff or whatever, it's not that we can just only for us to have a smooth sail relationship, because that's not even real. That's not even true. It doesn't mean that we will not encounter challenges. That's just the truth. It's not that you will not fight, you will not have challenges in the marriage. Sometimes some couples, after cutting, they get it right. Okay, this is the right person for me. This is the right person for me. It could be sickness that they have to deal with in the marriage. It could be financial struggles that they have to deal with in marriage. It could be barrenness that they have to deal. That's a challenge. You see, it could be a whole lot of things, a whole lot of pressures that's going to happen, and that is peculiar to every marriage. You see, so it's more like, before I get in there, let me just know what I'm getting into. Before I get in there, please, do I have the skills to be able to navigate the storm when I get there? Because it's not about whether they will come. It is when they will come. They will come. It's not that they will not come. They will come because it's part of life. So we need prayers. At the same time, faith without works is dead. A lot of times we pray, but we don't seek the right knowledge. Look at emotional intelligence or even conflict resolution or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? You can keep praying, but if you don't know how to handle your emotions, you don't know how to handle stuff. These are the things that we are talking about. The knowledge. How do I be loyal? How can I be faithful? How can I be more loving? Sometimes the love that we're even talking about, it will pass these butterflies in my belly. Like, okay, this is Valentine something. This whatever. There are sometimes in marriage you will choose to love. You choose to love the unlovable, even when you don't. So how do we work all of these emotions in our realities? You see, how do I not retain, how do I not be resentful? How can I not be bitter? How can I? So these are real issues here. Real issues that we need to, bring up to the forefront and actually talk about, that this is the reality of marriage life or in our relationships. So at the same time, we should trust God and trust His word, trust His system, trust the way that He wants us to do things, And it says, don't have too much expectations in your partner and always be intentional. Yeah. Because sometimes we have unrealistic expectations, and that breeds, disappointment, because there's some expectations that we have that is only God that can feel that can even meet that needs in the first place, and then we just put that in our pattern. So CEO Mikazi, thank you so much for that comment. That was really good. Thank you so much. So I'll go on again to the second category of the typical married woman that we have in our society today. The second category is that you aren't very excited about your marriage right now. You've tried a few things to improve your relationship, but there's been no significant change. There's been no significant change. And that is the second category of the married woman that we have here. And please put it in the comment section. I want to know, especially for maybe from the male perspective too, and from women. I feel like when it comes to relationship, and I do talk to a lot of married people, and you know what they tell me? They're like, the African men. Like, this is something about African men. They don't want to really, it's not all of them though, but especially the old ones, the older generation ones, they are stuck in their mindset, they are stuck in their ways. This is the way it's supposed to be, this is this, and that's it. It's very, archaic, very archaic. And then the women are suffering. They're just like, I can't get you, I just can't get you, because this is the way they've been shaped and everything, and everybody's just managing and just really not happy, just managing. You see, but we don't want that to be our reality. So if you're a man watching this, please and please and please, we don't know everything, but let us be willing to learn so that we can have, we can make our relationship for the other person too beautiful. Yesterday I was watching an episode, Living Couple on YouTube yesterday, and this person is actually a pastor. They put a question. They said this pastor, this is Nigeria now, say the pastor told the woman that he doesn't want a maid, okay, that he doesn't want a maid in the house, and they have 3 kids, okay. So this woman is the one that will do all the work in the house. She will clean, she will wash the plate, she will do everything, wash all the clothes. This is Nigeria. Wash all the clothes, do everything, and the man is not helping in any way. You see, and the man is a pastor. You see, so it's like so many things are going on. This is even somebody that is even a pastor. So I will not, over the I was not thinking about that. So if one of your congregation now come to you to say this kind of thing, how will you even advise the person when you yourself are even doing that? So meeting one to another to learn, to help each other in the house. The basic things in the that's very unfair. But it doesn't want the house help. Now the woman is the one that will do everything. Obviously, he's a pastor. Maybe he will go again to the field or go to church or whatever and to stop and come back. The woman is the one slaving, doing everything, and yet there's no help, and he doesn't want that and whatever. Some people can be very archaic and very like, this is what it is. This is what I've said, and this is it, and that's it. It's fine. A lot of people are suffering, even in the churches too. Marriages are breaking in the churches. Things are happening, and they use the Bible to say, you submit to your husband, and this is what I've said. King of God, but come on, the love. Let us understand one another. Let us be like oh ye mountain before Zerubbabel. It's a human being. And one of the marriage counselor, the person that answered the question yesterday, said that it's just like whether it's even a man or a woman, it could be any of the party, but just like if one person is doing everything, it's the person that will cook, the person that will clean, the person that will do it, and the other person is not doing anything. I mean, how would you feel? Let us treat each other the way we want to be treated. You see, we're talking about love here, so that it can be easier for one another. If we are actually, if we are actually serious about this love thing that we are talking about, I think our time is kind of up. China Obama said, what about the part that says husbands love your wife? Exactly. I don't think we hear this enough. We don't hear this enough, because husbands love your wife. In fact, we are going to even end on that note. Today's Valentine, husbands love your wives. Husbands love your wife. Please put it in the comment section. What does it mean? What does it mean that husbands love your wife? This is Valentine's Day. This is love season or whatever. Husbands love your wife. What does that mean? Please put it in the comment section. What does that mean in our society today? And I feel like even women can submit. I'm telling you, women can submit to a loving person. Like, submission is not even a struggle. When you are loved properly and you see the room, like you submit and we work together. It's not a big deal. And it says that says they should love their wives like they love their own bodies. Yes. But a lot of times, you know, do we even, some people, do they even love their bodies? That's the thing. Do they even love their bodies? Do you even know what love is? Sometimes we don't even know what love, and guess what? Now that's why we'll connect it back again to God, because if we don't know God, we cannot know what love is. If we don't know God, we cannot know what true love is, and we cannot be able to give somebody else any kind of love that is truly good. Because when we don't know God, because God himself is love, and this is where the disparity is in our society today. You find out, they said men love the women, love your wife, the husband love your wife, but a man that is not submitted to God, a man that doesn't know God, cannot give you love, cannot love you. Chikena, kwano. If you know God, if you don't love God, if you don't submit your heart to God, you cannot give another woman love. Hello. So the earlier the better you start, learning to know God, the easier for you in your future. You say. So we need to start saying these things. Now let me read the comments. It says that, what's the comment here? It says that and it says they should love their wives like they love their bodies. Yes. And see, Yomikazi also said, choose your wife over and over again and love without conditions. This is the meaning of love. She's saying that choose your wife over and over again. It's a choice, and love without conditions. Then Chine Abuma also said, women submit when you've loved them properly. Exactly. That is the truth. Unless that woman is a goat or like a stubborn somebody, maybe something is wrong with that woman. Because there are some women too, they are very difficult. There are some women that they're just trouble. They are trouble incarnate. There are some women like that. I'm saying it. There are some women that, to be honest with you, they have loving guys. They have whatever, but they I don't know. Maybe they need deliverance or something is wrong somewhere. Because we must balance it up. We must balance. There are some women that they are very troublesome. Maybe something is wrong. They need to get healed from trauma, or something is wrong with them somewhere. Because we should balance it also. Then Scripture says love has different definitions. Yes. And you also say love of God is different from the love of the world. That is so true. There is love of, and there is love for. There is love of, and there is love for. This is true. I'll be waiting for your comments. I should be going in few minutes or so. So maybe you guys are typing something. There is love of, and there is love for. So in this love season, you see, the earlier the better. The earlier we pursue a relationship with God, which is love, the earlier we begin to have the right tools, the right acts, because God will begin. It's like the man. How do I describe this? I don't have a Kenny here. The man submitting to, let's say this is the wife and this is the man, and then maybe this is God. This is God. So when the man submits to God, God is going to pour his love into the man. God will pour, it's like a covering. God will pour the love into the man, and then the man will have what it takes to be able to pour that love into the woman. And then we have a complete whole relationship, God's kind of way. But guess what? If the man does not connect to God, is without a covering. There's nothing pouring into him, and therefore you see the deterioration. There's nothing to give love, and that's where we are in a lot of times in our society today. You can't love that woman the way God should is required. Now I have a question here. Comment here. It says, I read a piece today that made me understand that I have misunderstood love. Wow. for the longest time. Wow. Wow. What kind of peace was it? What did you learn about the, what did you misunderstand about love? Okay, so Sukri also said the Lord in the Bible is the love of the world is, what do you say? The love in the Bible is expected, but the couples are using the definition of the love of the world. I believe it shouldn't be. The Lord or the word in the Bible is expected. The Lord, the love in the Bible is expected, but the couples are using the definition of the love of the world. I believe it shouldn't be. Yes, the love of the world is different. The love of the world in our relationship, we don't want the kind of the love of the world. We want the kind of love of God. Yeah. We want the kind of the love of God in our relationship. In order for us to have heaven on earth, in order for us to have joy and peace. Welcome, Nifem. In order for us, in order for us to have joy and peace in our relationship, we must have the God kind of love. Transmitting, you see. And the thing is, why did they even say that husband love your wife? You see, because they feel like it's going to be a struggle for that man to be able to say, for the man to be able to even say, I want to just love you. And I feel like a lot of men are struggling with just loving one person. Like, I want to love you. Because they always say, maybe men are polygamous in nature, or, promiscuous in nature, in your mindset, and you're confused. Is it this one or that? So it's a struggle. But guess what? When you connect to God, your mind God works on your heart and your mind. It begins to fill you up. So if you're single today, a single man or whatever, a youth or young person, the best thing you can do in your life, the wisest thing you can do in your life, submit to God. Put yourself under God. He will start pouring his love. He start pouring his love in your heart. He will start soothing you. He start filling you with his own kind of love, so that you'll be able to give it to somebody else and to everybody else in your life. You see, and then you experience joy. God, oh my God. You experience joy. You experience peace. You experience a lot of things, and your generations begin to be blessed. But guess what? The devil wants to distract a lot of men. Distract them so that they will not have that relationship with God, and therefore we have a chaos. We have chaos in our society today. Not the kind of love that we are looking for, you see. But God's kind of love is evident. Now let me read this question. The comment says, it was a devotional called Reflecting God's Love. Okay. Reflecting God's love. Superior says, that's the lie of the devil. Not all men. Yes, it's not all men. Yes, Chinyo Aboma says, I found out that I have loved others the way I felt they should be loved, not how God really wants me to love them. This is deep. This is actually deep. Yeah. I have found out that I have loved others the way I felt they should be loved, but not how God really wants me to love them. Wow. So, in other words, I'm taking this one. I'm taking it. I'm going to think about what is that comment. I'm going to think about it. Another way is, God, please teach me how to love others the way you want me to love them. Not the way I think, but the way you want me to love them. Wow. And see, God's kind of love is so beautiful. God will even say that, love your enemies. Hey? Love your enemies. God will even say, love your enemies. God will say, pray for those that even despitefully use you. That is the kind of love we are talking about. The love of the world will not tell you that. You see, it said, pray for those. Why? Because God does not want you to be in the state of resentment, unforgiveness, or whatever. It's not good for you. It's not good for us. You see, but he says what? Combat it with love. Come on. Combat it. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing. It's about a hard thing. Wow. Shinoba, thank you so much for that comment. I mean, that's really insightful. That's very, very insightful. Well, I like this. Today has been very, very interactive. Everybody, bringing up their comments and all that. So I'm going to be rounding off now because of our time. Thank you so much for joining. Today we started the talk, touch, and tenderness in marriage. And we also said before people joining us that please, no matter what your circumstances is, no matter what your relationship status is right now, you are so loved. Even though it's Valentine's, probably you don't have somebody giving you flowers or whatever. Guess what? You are loved by the big God. Yes, he loves you so much, and he even died for you. Come on, it's Valentine died for you. No, they're gonna tell you they're gonna die for you, but hey, they're not gonna die for you. But there's one that has already died for you. So come on, you're loved. All right, you're so loved. And enjoy your day. Have a good day. Be joyful. Be peaceful. All right, and I will see you tomorrow for episode 24. Don't forget to follow all of our social media platforms. The Sign with Abiola on YouTube, The Sign with Abiola on Facebook, and The Sign with Abiola on Instagram. Yes. Happy Valentine's. Peace out. Happy Valentine's to all of our single friends, everybody. So take care of yourselves, okay? Have a lovely day. Enjoy your day, okay? No matter your relationship status, enjoy your day. Have a lovely time. Whatever food you want to eat, cook for yourself, eat, have a good time. Watch a movie. Just enjoy yourself. Enjoy your own company and have a good day. Choose joy. All right? Okay, love you all, everybody. Bye. See you tomorrow, okay? Bye.